Welcome back. Today we are doing a 1 hour better on my downstairs. We take 1 hour where we're not striving for perfection. We're just trying to get our spaces 1 hour better. Right now my house isn't too terribly bad, and I just want to take this next hour and keep it that way. This is probably the worst part of it because I didn't clean up last night. Instead, I went to bed really early. I was incredibly tired. Steven has been out of town this week, so I'm also flying solo, which also adds to the extra mess. It's just life. It's gonna happen. So most of our time will be spent in the kitchen, but we have other stuff we need to take care of, get it cleaned up, and have a fresher space. My neighbor is moving, and it is also her last year with a child in school, so she graciously donated her supply tower, and I need to go through this. I'm actually kind of excited to test all these markers, get it organized. I just so happened to go through and organize this, and yeah, it's looking sad. This is all of our supplies, you know. They get broken, lost, thrown away. So it couldn't have come at a more perfect time. So I don't know if we will get to this today or if it's something I will do with the kids later. But I'm actually looking forward to that. I don't know why. And whatever I don't need, I know lots of homeschool parents that could probably use it. But with a kindergartner, we go through a lot of school supplies. I only replace school supplies at the beginning of the year and around January, halfway through the year, in hopes to help teach them, hey, you got to take care of it, because towards the end of the year or the end of the semester, we're really scraping by. All right, the timer is set. Let's get the 1 hour going. First, I want to say thank you so much for clicking on my video. I know there's lots of options out there, and you chose my video to watch. So thank you. I'm happy to have you here with me and keep me company while I clean this house. Let me know if you're cleaning with me or if you're taking a rest day today. I have some satisfying cleaning shots in this video that I look forward to sharing with you. So if you aren't feeling up to cleaning, let me do it for you. Hopefully by the end of this video, I can give you a little cleaning fix. So I know it doesn't look like it, but I've actually been doing a really good job getting my dishes done at night and just tidying the kitchen and the island before I go to bed. And that has made such a difference in my get up and go in the morning. This particular day, or night before, I just didn't have it in me. So we are doing some of the dishes this morning, and that's okay. But I just wanted to give you all an update on that, because shining my sink at night has never been a priority, and now it's probably one of my most favorite parts of my daily routine, just because of the effect it has on me in the morning. I've run out of Dawn Power Wash. I go through this stuff so quickly, and occasionally I just make it myself. I still prefer the original stuff, but this gets me while I'm in between or when I don't want to spend the money. It's just water, 2 tablespoons of soap, 1. You could use Dawn. I'm sure it's probably better to use Dawn, but I'm going to use this citrus flavor from H-E-B. So you do 2 tablespoons of that, and then 1 tablespoon of alcohol. I already had the water in it because I don't like adding water when soap's in the mix, but we are going to top it off till about right here. All right, there we have it. You just shake it up, but you just kind of mix it around a little bit and just let it incorporate before you use it. I do like the original stuff better, mostly because I feel like you can really smell the alcohol in there. And I haven't tried making this without alcohol because I'm sure it serves an important purpose. But if you don't want to spend money on it, you can make it yourself. And now that I've cleaned with this spray for a few days, I would go ahead and add 1 extra tablespoon of soap to the mix. I just don't think this one is as potent as the Dawn Power Wash. I don't know if it's just because I used a different brand of dish soap than Dawn, probably. But anywho, that's just my little tip there. And this was one thing that I've been excited to share with you that I bought. It's been one of my most favorite purchases this spring/summer for my kitchen. It's a reusable party tray, so you can cut up your own vegetables and even put your own dip in there, although I'll probably just use it for vegetables. And my kids do so good when I prep, just raw vegetables for them to eat. And I take out this tray and set it in there, or I take out the tray from the fridge and just set it on the counter for them. I had been using a large Tupperware party tray, but it was obnoxiously big and it was round and it just didn't fit the fridge. It just took up way too much space in the fridge. That one is rectangular and it's still big. They do have one size smaller that I think would have been better for us, but the fact that it's rectangular, it just fits in the fridge so much better. So I'm going to have a shop this video section with the links to things that I show as I did the rough cut of this video. Oh, look at that. Yes, slow-mo squeeze. I got that inspiration from the wads. Anywho, I'm going to have a shop this video section in the description box for you guys. Because as I was doing the rough cut of this video, there were so many of my favorite things like that I'm going to put in there. So if I don't mention it in the video and you're wondering, hey, I wonder where she got that, it just might be in that section of the description box. And if it's not, just leave me a comment and I'll post any links that you would like. I wasn't planning on making this a favorites video, but it just kind of worked out that as I was cleaning a lot of things that I call my so-called favorites, or the things that I use every day that just make my life easier. And so I thought, hey, why not make it part of the content? And this griddle right here is another one of my favorites. It is huge, as you can tell, as it sits over my sink. And I will set this out in the morning. I'll make fried eggs, wipe it down with a paper towel, make quesadillas for lunch. It just really cuts down on dishes and it's easy to clean and it just makes cooking 3 meals a day easier. What can I say? And I'll also put that school supply thing you see in the background. That will be down in the description box as well. Y'all remember when I made this soap stand? I think that was a 50-cent plate and a $1.50 bowl. And then I just did some E6000. It is still holding up so well. And it makes for a nice little perch for all my soaps to catch some of the water that drains off them. And keeps the water that splashes out of the sink from getting trapped under there. I'll see if I can find that video and link it if you're interested in how I did that, because I did feature it in one of my videos. It's just going to be a matter of, can I remember which video it was? My memory just ain't what it used to be. If it wasn't for the reminders app and the notes app of my phone, I would be lost in this world. I rely heavily on my calendar, vocal reminders, and my notes. And to think there was ever a time that I didn't need any of that. If you have OCD, look away, because I need to refill this. And I'm just not interested in waiting until I run out of Dawn. So we're just gonna fill this in. I anticipate it's going to be green, which could backfire against me, or could make for a nice aesthetic, or it could look like a pukey green. Oh well. If I could do it all over again, I would have put the dish soap in this thing and then the hand soap in this one. It would have made more sense. But I got them at 2 different times, so it just didn't work out that way. Do y'all consider yourself crafty, or are you big into DIY projects? I used to be huge in that. It as part of my I think I can do that syndrome. I always look at fun things and think, "Oh, I can make that." And just lately, I have not been able to do that. I mean, it's probably because of time. I just don't have any time to do that, to explore that creative side of myself. I guess in a way, YouTube allows for a little bit of creativity. But I used to be big into DIY. And hopefully, with this summer, we are closing out baseball season. We're going to break for homeschool over the summer. So hopefully, I'll have some more time and I can, do a little more DIY. Would y'all like to see that? Anyway, I have a long list of projects that I want to DIY and do. And so, fingers crossed we can get to it this summer. One of the biggest things I want to do this summer is do a room makeover on the master bedroom. And I'm just itching to do something in there. I've done everybody's room makeover so far, and it's time for mom and dad to have a space made over for them. I've had a couple nightstands. We're going to do some furniture makeovers in that. And yeah, so hopefully I can get to all that because it's about to get real hot here in Texas. And any kind of outdoor projects that need to be done pretty quick. So hopefully that will be done here in the near future. So stay tuned for that. I've actually already purchased some pieces and bedding and stuff that's just waiting in the wings for me. So it's gonna happen. So as a reward for getting my kitchen reset, I'm going to put up my new LED lighting. If you've been around a while, you know I've done it once before and I liked it. I thought it was affecting my microwave and it wasn't. There was something else going on with my microwave, so I ended up ripping that one out. These ones are color changing. The other ones I had were just white, so I'm very excited about that. I've actually had it around for a while and I keep putting off putting it up because my kitchen is never clean enough. But today we're gonna do it. It still probably won't be clean enough, but we're gonna do it anyway. Who would have thunk? I have a lot of mail that I need to go through, but I'm gonna save that for later. And we're gonna just do good enough. So I will do this from time to time. I read it in Atomic Habits by James Clear. He calls it temptation bundling, but I've also heard it as temptation stacking, where you pair something you really want to do with something you don't want to do. So, and a lot of times there's just natural temptation stacking. For example, this one, I cleared the counters, wiped down the underneath of the cabinets, and naturally it's prepped for LED lights. Another one is when I do go to do the master bedroom, I have to do a major clean and declutter first. So just finding those natural ways to reward yourself has been just a fun way on getting things checked off. You have to do it anyway, so you might as well tie some fun things in there. Oh man, I have to tell y'all what happened to me last week. And my dogs are barking outside, and that's what reminded me. But last week, it was just a regular old Monday, and I hear both of my girls screaming bloody murder. Hooray! Hooray! Ah! And I'm like, oh my. Run over to see that our little Gidgy girl is running around with her eyeball popped out of her socket. Y'all, I can handle a lot of things, but this will affect me for the rest of my life. Anyway, in a panic, I don't even know how I made it to the animal emergency room, but we did. She ended up having to have her whole eyeball removed. At first, they thought that they might be able to save it, but they couldn't. And so now our Gidget girl is down one eyeball. I tell you, we don't know what happened. We never heard a yelp. We never heard a fight or anything like that. The vet said that there was a small puncture underneath her eye, and that's all we know. So we don't know if one of our other dogs nipped her. If we checked the backyard to see if there was any hazards. There wasn't. And yeah, so we have no idea what happened. I had shared the story amongst my friends, and it was amazing how many friends, either themselves, their pets had lost an eye, or they knew somebody close to them that their animal lost their eye. It made me sad to think how common of a thing that is, I guess. But it did make me feel a little bit better because I felt so bad for our Gidget girl. So they're not as bright as I had hoped they would be. And I don't know if that's the position I put them in, because the last time I put them in, I put them like on the edge of the cabinet instead of the edge of like the wall. And I don't know if that just produced more light on the counters. And also, like when I want white, let's see, the sensor's kind of blocked, so I don't know if this is gonna work. All right. So when I just want normal lighting, this is the only white, which it's not terrible, but it's not really warm and inviting. And then you can hit yellow, and that's the yellow lighting. So I suppose you could do that if you wanted a warmer light. And on the camera, it looks good, but in person, it's like, it's pulling like a real yellow, like a real yellow, not a warm white, if you know what I mean. For under kitchen cabinet lighting, I don't know if these are it. I almost want to go back to just the ones that I had, which were just a basic white. But for now, it'll do. I already have the kids working through those school supplies. The kitchen ended up taking me an hour with the lights, but we're not gonna count the lights. I feel like that was kind of a reward for me. So assuming that we have 10 to 20 minutes, I'm gonna process what's left here. It's loud in my house. My children only have one volume, and that is loud. All right, and then we're gonna do that and then take care of this clutter. And then we're gonna call it a day on that 1 hour better. There was a little over an hour. I did go back and pull out that strand of LED lights. It did end up ruining them, but thankfully I had a whole nother strand that came in the package, and I re-put them on the lip of the cabinet, and it was so much better. It just, putting it up against the tile caused the reflection to be right up on the tile so you could see all the little dots versus a, dispersed light. So, and I love the color. I didn't think I'd like the color as much as I thought. I thought I would use white more, so that's cool. Okay, this is gonna be my keep pile, and this is gonna be my donate pile. What are you doing? Markers. Oh, good idea. Let's keep the markers out of our mouth, though. I wanted to show you guys before I process this. I want to go ahead and put this stuff away and then work on this last drawer. Did you see that marker on his lip? That boy has been going through a phase where he bites the tips of the marker off and chews lids to the markers, and I've even caught him biting the eraser off of pencils, although he's only done that a few times. He's always been a kid to explore things with his mouth. It was not uncommon for him to lick walls or lick the railing up a flight of stairs. Yes, cringe. Obviously, the shopping cart was always a natural go-to. I'm sure he has some sort of like oral sensory thing going on. He chews his nails real bad, and his toenails are like chewed down. It's been one of those things I've just been keeping an eye on, and will address at our next pediatrician appointment, just to make sure there's no underlying issues that is causing such aggressive biting and chewing. Grace and Steven have been nail biters off and on, but I feel like Eric is just like next level. Like, I feel like he's probably chewed down half of his nail that should be there. Today was such a good energy day. I got to tackle pretty much all of our hotspot areas, like this entryway, that corner on my island, the island itself. So those are all the areas that when they have just a little bit of clutter, they make the house feel cluttered. But when they're clean, they make the whole house feel clean. So we really used our time wisely on this 1 hour better. And that's a wrap. 1 hour better, slightly longer than an hour, if we're being honest. I want to say that the blue thing probably took me 15 minutes. This probably took me 5. So that's 20 minutes. The kitchen really only took me about 30 minutes. And then those lights took me probably about 30 minutes because I had to redo them. So anyway, not bad for a 1 hour better. You're sure it's gonna feel good waking up to this tomorrow. Anyway, if you haven't already, please go say something kind to yourself. You are amazing. Hit that subscribe button. Join me on this journey. Other than that, we'll see you in the next one.